We all know that the Biden administration has been working relentlessly to undo a lot of harm that the Trump administration did during their time, and then some more. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a summary of Biden's latest executive order, so you will see exactly how the US immigration process is changing. There's quite a lot of changes that Biden has suggested over here, and I want you to know all of them. The first major change is streamlining of visa services. That means reducing appointment wait times and making them available continually throughout the year. We all know that we've been there when people are stuck, and I've seen people stuck for 7, 8, 9 months just waiting for an appointment slot. They don't get it in time. And that's where Biden has targeted first thing in his executive order, essentially the fact that these appointments should be available continually. The second major change is streamlined visa renewal. Now, if you are a J1 research scholar or if you are an F1 visa student in a STEM field, then Biden says that you should not have to travel to your home country to get your visa renewed. This means there will be a significant cost reduction for you people, essentially because you don't really have to fly to your country, and flight tickets are expensive itself, right? And on top of that, this will result in reduced processing times for visa renewals. With this order, at least 450,000 students are actually eligible for renewing their visa within the United States. The third major change is the updated version of a J1 exchange visitor skills list. There's two major changes over here. The first one is that J1 scholars often have to return to their home country for 2 years after completion of their research program within the US. So basically what the US is doing is that it's preparing these research scholars, it's getting them at the top of the notch essentially, and then it's sending them back to their country. And this is a mandate for many J1 visas. Now, most of these students, of course, come from China or India, and US does not like that it's basically sending this talent away back to China or India when this talent should be retained. Hence, the first major change is that these rules are being relaxed, and these J1 research scholars will be actually able to stay within the US by shifting to another visa type, and that's in the works. The second major change within this is to revamp the list of labor needs. Essentially, the market needs as of today has to be reflected, and that's going to be basically reflecting major fields like AI, machine learning, fields which basically are emerging and need more and more people. The fourth major change is targeting the H1B visa. That means for H1Bs, there's going to be an ease of change of jobs, and on top of that, there's a simplified version of the renewal process if you're extending your H1B. And also, renewal will happen from within the US itself. You don't need to go back to your home country, find a slot, attend the 10-minute interview, and then come back to the US. No, you can do it all in the US. On top of that, within this change, Biden administration has noticed that many companies are carrying out a fraud, essentially wherein they file for one applicant itself multiple applications again and again to make sure that this applicant gets the H1B. They're also targeting this fraud. The fifth major change is to recognize that talent is global and that Biden administration wants talent to be within the US from all over the globe. Take a look at some of the research produced over here by one of the scientific societies in the US, and they show how many of the people who are basically elite leaders in the fields that are cutting edge today, that are requiring more and more personnel, people are from all over the world, but they're coming to the US. And the second image over here shows that China may be one of the greatest producers of these people, yet students are coming to the US from China as well. So the Biden administration wants to essentially hold AI events and make sure that this talent is attracted towards the US, right? So that these people, these leaders in AI essentially know more about what the US has to offer, and they also opt in to the American dream. There's also another change that the Biden administration promised while they were essentially competing against the Trump administration for presidency. And this one is called policy manual updates, and they're essentially figuring out ways through which PhDs in AI essentially are able to find a pathway, or researchers in AI are able to find a pathway to actually stay within the US long term. Remember, it's not just for AI, but AI is one of the most prominent fields, so that's why I keep on saying that, but it's also for other emerging fields. Before the final update that the Biden administration has requested, I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel so I can make more such videos, and follow me on Instagram. If you have any questions, you can also reach out to me over there. My number is already in the description. We help with anything from applications to basically studying overseas to visas to jobs. Everything's covered. Alright, moving on to the sixth and the final update, that is the Schedule A update. Schedule A is essentially a list of occupations that does not have enough workers within the US. Now, this list was updated last in 1991. In these years, since 1991 to now 2024 almost, there's been massive changes in the requirements of the US. And hence, that's what Schedule A updates is. This list will be updated reflecting the current labor market shortages within the United States. And that's all of your updates that Biden has requested. Personally, I feel that this would be one of the best times to actually target US for education overseas, because that would potentially make you move in a direction that may even get you PR, certainly, in some years. Of course, many people already get it, and we've been doing this for years and years. We have a lot of people we've sent, a lot of contacts, and if you need any help, you can reach out to me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, goodbye and take care.